Hey y'all, Rios Junk Removal, Micah Collins here, and in this video, I'm going to show you all the 3 things that will set your company above your competition. Now, you're probably sitting there asking yourself, why am I even doing this and what's in it for me? Well, the truth is that oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are simply too busy running their own business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. So, I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things they can do to impact their own business for free, it results in some of those local business owners still at the end raising their hands and saying, you know what, Micah, I like you. Why don't you just take care of this for me? So if by the end of this video you liked what you've heard and you can see up a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help impact your business, you can shoot me a quick message and we could chat. Or if you simply want to take this free attack plan and do this yourself, I'm totally cool with that. Whatever's best for your business. So now let me show you the 3 things that will set your company above your competition and not waste any more of your time or mine. All right, hopping right in. The first thing I want to go over with you today is your content. Now, everything you see highlighted right here is what we call content. Now, most business owners know that they need content on their website, but don't realize that they need certain keywords that Google is looking for to find their services. For instance, if I'm looking for junk removal, I'm actually here in the Tulsa area. So if I'm looking for junk removal, I'm going to look up like junk removal Tulsa, Tulsa junk removal, etc. Specific keywords like that. So if we look over to Junk Boss, they have some of those keywords listed naturally throughout their website, and we'll see exactly behind the scenes what they're being found for. All right, if we look over to Ahrefs, this is a little tool I use. It runs at about a couple $100 a month, but I love this tool because it allows me to see exactly behind the scenes of everything Google's looking at. It's really a great tool. If we look over here, plug in your website, we can see that you're getting found for 16 organic keywords. So that's what you're being found for by people, okay? And you're getting 37 people on your website every single month. So not terrible, okay? If we hop over here, we see some pretty good keywords, just bad positioning. I'll show you why. If we look at junk removal OKC, we see it gets searched 300 times a month. That's a really good keyword because, if somebody's looking up junk removal OKC, they're looking for a service now, right? It gets searched 300 times a month. You only get 12 of those people, though, because you're on the 9th position on Google, okay? Junk removal Oklahoma County gets searched 150 times a month. You're getting 11 of those people because you're on the 6th position. Junk removal Oklahoma City, we can see excuse me, get searched 100 times a month, which is good, but you're only getting 6 of those people every month on your own website because you're on the 7th position. So again, a lot of like second page, on Google, not that great, right? If we look over to Junk Boss, we can see that they're getting found for 62 organic keywords and they're getting 224 people on their website every single month. You can imagine how many more calls that translates to. If we look at exactly what is driving those calls, we can see junk removal Edmond, Oklahoma gets searched 150 times a month. Okay. They get 52 of those people because they're on the 2nd position. This is by far their best keyword because obviously they're right up there on top on Google. So people are really finding them for junk removal Edmond, Oklahoma. We can see junk removal OKC. This one they're not doing terrible on. Again, 300 times a month, but they're getting 38 of those people instead of like 17 what you were getting because they're on the 4th position, not the 9th position. Okay. I don't know if you're doing much dumpster rentals, but they are targeting dumpster rental too, which gets searched 250 times a month, this specific keyword, and they're getting 14 of those people because they're on the 8th position. So not amazing positioning, but a lot better than you. Just to kind of show you somebody who's relatable, not that hard to beat, but could bring a lot of value to your company if you did beat them. All right, before I bore y'all to death, I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to pretend we're a customer right now. I'm going to go over to Google, plug in junk removal OKC. Again, it gets searched about 300 times a month. And this is the first section that people see is the ad section. Now, we know the ads can be good, but they can also really be a money pit if you don't have a good landing page, if you don't have a good strategy. They really burn through a whole lot of cash if you don't know exactly what you're doing. And the truth is, they're not the best bang for your buck anyways, because only 10 to 20% of all the clicks end up for home services. You can look this up, end up going to the ad section. 80 to 90 end up scrolling down. All right, if we go down, we immediately see the map pack, and this brings me to the second thing I want to speak with y'all today, and that is what we call citations. So, why that matters, okay, if we hop over to Junk King, Oklahoma City, We can see immediately their name, their address, and their phone number listed right here on Google. That is what we call the NAP, or the NAP, name, address, phone number. And why this matters is because that's how Google verifies your local listing online. Because they don't want some fly by night, somebody threw up a Google business profile. They want somebody that they can trust, right? Now you might be thinking, well, Micah, what the heck is a nap and a citation? Why does it matter to get me at the top of this? Well, the truth is that so what Google's doing, I just throw this chart, don't take it for design tips, to put it on Canva in like 3 minutes, but it gets the point across, right? If we look at this little chart, we can see, so what Google is doing is they're looking all over the internet at all these different directories. For instance, like Google Places, Bing, Yelp, Merchant Circle, Switchboard, Yellow Book, Matchpoint, the BBB, the Hot Rock, the list goes on for hundreds of them, right? What Google is doing is looking all over these different citations, or you might know them as directories, and they're looking for local businesses that they can trust. Okay. And how they determine that a lot of times is their name, address, and phone number being consistent across all these different platforms. For instance, if you have your name and your address across all these different platforms correct, but your phone number's a little off, then Google will penalize you for that, because they want somebody who's consistent on every single one of these platforms. So what you need to do is just go through your local citations, house.com, Google Places, Bing, Yelp, Merchant Circles, list goes on, right? And just correct all the information that you can and get more of these directories so Google starts finding you in more places, okay? And the more that they find you consistently across these platforms, the more they will promote you higher in the map pack. Of course, we know this isn't the only factor to ranking a Google map pack listing. We know that reviews really matter too, but they aren't the main determining factor. The citations is, as we can see right here, Junk King, Oklahoma City, they have 671 5-star reviews, right? But On Call has 765, yet Junk King is higher than them. That is because their citations are more dialed in. And also, another little note factor is they have all their products filled out. You want to do that, and you want to do regular posting. All these together strategically put you higher in the map pack, okay? Now, let's just continue scrolling down. The next position I wanted to speak with you today, this brings me to the third thing, and that is what we call backlinks. That's everything to do with this organic section right here on Google. So, again, the truth is 10 to 20% go for this. If you look it up, 40 to 44% end up going for the map pack, so that's a great place to be. But this is probably the most like hard-hitting places if you can get in one of these top 3 spots, because the truth is the rest of all of those end up usually going, like, a huge percent of the rest of them end up going for this top position right here, or second or third. So you really want to get your website listed right there. But to get there, you need what we call authority with Google. And to get this authority, you need backlinks. So before I bore you to death, I want you to think of a backlink exactly like this. So if you have website A is pointing to site B, then site A is giving site B some of its like link juice, or like power passing vote of confidence in Google's eyes, okay? And the more relevant that website A is pointing to site B, the more valuable that link is to Google. So let me try to give you a visual right here. If you get like a local blog or an industry site, a blog about dumpster rentals, junk removal, anything that has to do with your business pointing to your website, then that's awesome. Google sees that as valuable. But if you get, you did a job from, I don't know, Pizza Hut, right? And you get a link from them, I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there, right? You get a link from them, Google doesn't care because they sell pepperonis, you do junk removal. There's no correlation there. All right, hopping back over to Ahrefs, it allows me to see exactly what backlinks that you have and your competition has, and see where that gap is. Okay, so if we look at your website, you have 116 backlinks driving 37 people to your website every single month. If we look at Junk Boss, for instance, just using them for the purposes of this video, they have 218 backlinks, which is driving 224 traffic to their website every single month. So not a huge gap there, a little ways to go, but it's definitely doable, okay? Now you're probably sitting back there thinking, well, Micah, this is all great in theory and everything, but it's kind of going over my head. It's a little technical. Well, today's your lucky day, because I'm going to show you exactly, boots on the ground, how to get this done for yourself. If you just get ahrefs.com or SEMrush, it don't matter. I'm not sponsored or anything. You get one of these tools, a couple $100 a month or something. You put in your competition right here, right in the search bar, and then you look over here to the backlinks, and you can just click that backlink thing right there, And you can see every single one that they have pushing power to their website, and you can literally just click on one of these and get them for yourself. All right, and scrolling down looking for one of the better backlinks just to show you exactly how it's done. This process is a little bit different for every single backlink. I will let you know about that, but they're all fairly easy to get. We just go over here, local junkers. Again, it has exactly what to do with your business. So brings us to local junkers website. We can see junk boss listed right there, correct? And if we just look down, we can see that blue highlighted text. That is a backlink pushing power to Junk Boss's website. Okay, so now you can see the correlation between a link and power. All right. So how you get something like this for yourself, if we just go back, is usually it's just around here somewhere. If we look, just go back to local junkers. They're usually pretty easy to find. Yeah, have a junk business listed right here. So we would just want to hop on there. Obviously, don't want to pay for money if we don't have to, but this will get you a backlink for yourself, just this free one. And yeah, you just put in your information, then it'll ask some business information after that. You can 100% get this backlink for yourself. And then you just continue that process across all these different backlinks. You will 100% dominate them across Google, hands down. If you just do whatever they did, but add it to your backlinks that you already have, there's just no way Google will not start putting you higher in the map pack, especially if you get those correct keywords throughout your website. You will absolutely rock it, dude. All right, so hopefully you can see by now that getting you to the top on Google and getting more calls every single month, it's not magic. It's just a method, and I've shown you that method here today. So once again, we went over number one was your content. Now you want to have the right keywords naturally throughout your website, like junk removal, OKC, specific keywords, not too many of them, but just enough so Google starts finding you for the right things, okay? And number two is your citations, and you want to get the right local directories with your NAP, your name, address, phone number, consistent throughout all of them, so Google starts trusting you more on that end. And also, number three was your backlinks. You want to have more relevant websites pointing to you guys to show Google that you are the authority junk removal in Oklahoma City or Norman or Moore or whatever specific area you're wanting to target. And if you implement these strategies today, you'll 100% dominate across Google hands down. So now I bet you're wondering, well, what now, Micah? Well, the truth is, you can either take this information I provided you today and do this on your own. And dude, I'm totally cool with that. However, if you want the most fast and effective route and you want to save yourself the time and the resources of doing it all, you can just give me a quick call at 918-260-1694. Again, my name is Micah Collins, and that's 918-260-1694. Hey, I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a good one.